Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to Cooking with Carlo. I am Angelo, one of the chefs here at 3B's. I'm also Carlo's oldest son. Today we're going to be making a stuffed avocado ranchero. I'm using a fresh avocado, Mexican avocado. It's an indigenous plant in South America and Mexico. We're using grape tomatoes, fresh cilantro, some red onion, and some fresh lime. We're going to chop a few of these grape tomatoes, and I like to chop them very small. So what I do is I'm going to cut them in half long ways, and then we're going to go down the center, and we're going to get about 6 tiny slices out of each tomato. Just be careful you don't cut your hands. Okay, our next ingredient is going to be a red onion, and we're going to cut this as thin and as small as possible. You don't want to put it in a food processor, because what happens is it sometimes could tend to puree and get that mushy consistency, and all that water and juice will come out of it. You want it to keep its consistency and texture. So we're going to use the knife to just get it just right. You know, you don't want to chop it, because again, you're going to wind up crushing it. You want it to hold its texture. Now we have our bowl right here. We have our chopped tomatoes. We have our onions. Okay, and we're going to continue using the jalapeno. I have my jalapenos, here they are. Now some people like to take the seeds out, or the vein, which tends to give it all its heat. So if you're going to do it for the kids, you might want to take that out. But I like using all of the pepper, including the seeds, to give it that little extra added heat that we want for this dish. You don't want to go too heavy, because you don't want to ruin your dish by putting too much heat into it. It'll take away from all the other flavors. I'm going to slide in our jalapeno. Take our fresh cilantro. Don't want too much. Cilantro is a great substitute for parsley. It has that distinct flavor to it. What I'm going to do is, I don't like to chop it too fine. I like to leave the leafy parts to the cilantro. And that's pretty much the main ingredient, or ingredients, that we're going to be using. We're going to follow it, let me take this, by squeezing a little bit of fresh lime. All in there. I love lime. You can use lemon, but I'm going to stick with a traditional cilantro lime salsa. There we go. It's also good for making a good mojito. Now add a little bit of kosher sea salt, some fresh black pepper, and we're just going to toss it lightly. Now we're going to put this to the side, and we're going to follow it by starting with our avocado. We're going to take the avocado, and we're going to cut it long ways. and we're going to just follow the blade all the way around. And you're going to slowly wedge it open. Okay. We're going to remove the pit. We'll put this off to the side. Okay. Now this is where it gets fun. If you have the kids, I'm going to grab a little non-stick spray. Pam or any store-bought spray will be fine. We're going to place these on the hot plate, and we're just going to apply a little pressure so that they stay evenly flat. You don't want them tilting, because we're going to, it'll be crucial for your next step, because we're going to take an egg, we're going to crack it, and we're basically going to put it in to the hollow center where we remove the pit. You can use a farm fresh egg or an organic free range egg. But for this, I just standard supermarket egg. Okay, and we're going to add a little bit more salt to our egg, a little pepper, and we're going to put these in the oven at 550 for about 5 minutes. Now, some of you like the yolk to be a runny yolk or a harder yolk, so this is where you come in and you can play around and decide for yourself. If you want it to be in there for 3.5 minutes, well, 5 minutes is ideal. Okay? Our finished product would look like after we remove it from the oven. And we're going to put our salsa right over the top. And here you go. Breakfast is served. So thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy our tutorial on our huevos rancheros. Good evening.